In this video, Personal SEO teaches how to update a website, install Elementor, and make sure the site is backed up on a regular basis. So in our last video, where Personal SEO teaches how to migrate a website, we migrated this OCDIsonics.com website from GoDaddy to DreamHost. And now that we've done that, we had to edit the user information so that we could gain access to the website. And so now that we're logged in to the back end, we've changed all the passwords. In the last video, we changed the passwords for the database, we changed the passwords for the user accounts for protection, which I said like 15 times in the last video. So just to reiterate, that has been done. Now, the very first thing that I do before doing anything on any website is I take care of these updates. These are important. You shouldn't let them go at all, and the reason being is that this is where hackers can get into your website just by going through a vulnerability of an update. And that's why there are always updates with WordPress websites, because there's a bunch of people coding for WordPress, and some of them are smart and some of them aren't, and there are vulnerabilities that happen just in coding. So that's why there's always updates. So you can just click on the select all button and update. I do find that there are some issues with that, however, with things breaking. On themes, rarely does that propose a problem. So let's just kind of do what I think normal people would do, and if there's an issue, then you can suffer through watching this video while I fix it. Okay, so the first thing I do is I start with the themes. I tend to just select all and hit update, and then just wait. Don't do anything. Don't click off or go anywhere else. If you do, you might end up with the site being stuck in maintenance mode. If it gets stuck in maintenance mode, there is a way to fix it. So again, I'll show you how. If it gets stuck, it's actually fairly easy if you have FTP access. Okay, now that all the themes are updated, we're going to update the rest of the plugins of the website. And this is where the site can physically break. So I tend to do three. Actually, they're all disabled. So if their plugins are disabled, and most of the time they're not going to be, but since we moved the entire site over and changed the name of the plugins directory, because there was a security issue, this security plugin and specifically was locking me out, so I just changed the name of the plugins. All the plugins are deactivated. So since all the plugins are deactivated and they're not live, you should be able to just click on select all and go. So let's see if this works. And again, if it breaks, it's a good lesson to actually show you how to fix that as well. So update plugins, and then again, just wait, have a sip of coffee. Okay, all of the plugins have been updated. And that's nice and smooth in the way we kind of want it to work. This is the way it's supposed to work. It works great, yay. The next thing we need to do, and again, this is a site breaking update, is to update the version of WordPress. So again, we just click update now. Now they advise you to back up your website, which you technically should. However, since we just migrated the site last night, technically the site's backed up on my personal computer. So the worst case scenario is that I would have to restore the database and then go through the updates again. So let's see if this update works without any issues. Okay, it may or may not do this, but if it's been a while, it'll always do this update the WordPress database. Okay, now that that's complete, yay, everything worked. Okay, so looking at the site as a WordPress developer, there are things that I see, like 1,400 comments, and I'm assuming that all of these comments are exactly what they are, spam. So this is something that we're going to fix as well. We're also going to install a new theme and a new plugin. So bear with me. Hold on. Okay, so what we want to do is one, we want to delete all of these comments, assuming there's 73 pages of them, 1,400 of them. That's a lot of comments to delete. There's a quick, easy plugin to do that. Just go to Add New, and then delete comments. So we could disable comments, which is what I want, but I want to delete all comments as well. So I'm going to install this one and then hit activate. And then this will be the only thing that is activated. So under tools, sometimes if they don't say anything, you kind of have to go look for it. So under tools or plugins or settings, you would find delete comments. I'm just going to go to the delete comments here and delete all comments, delete all moderation. Um, I'm going to do all. So just hit delete. I'm going to try that again, hit delete. And then the comments are magically zero. Great. Now, we technically don't need that plugin anymore, so we can go back to the plugins, deactivate, delete all comments, and then find it again and hit delete. Okay, that's done. So we took care of that comment thing, and then as you're working in the site, even though we just updated everything, you might see some more updates that have to happen. Just go ahead and do them. You could do them from the plugin screen one at a time. Okay, now that's all done. This person didn't want to use the current theme that is here, Italy. They wanted to use their own theme, and the theme that they wanted to use was from Elementor. So we're going to go to Elementor. Okay, and then you can, the theme here, the theme here that they're going to use is the Hello theme. This is, I think, the only theme that Elementor offers for WordPress, because Elementor is a builder plugin like Divi, and Divi has their own theme, and I think Elementor has their own theme, which it's just called the Hello theme. And this is pretty much just a blank theme, and the reason why we want to do this is because we're going to redesign the site using Elementor. What I want to do is I want to use the theme that they suggest. So you just click download the theme downloads, you go to appearance in WordPress, and then add new, and then upload theme. Choose the file and it will download to your downloads folder. So then just hit open and then install. Awesome. So unable to create directory uploads as a parent writable by the server, which is an issue that you may happen to have because when transferring files, sometimes directories aren't writable. So go to your trusty FTP program, and then the content here, just right click on it and go to file permissions and do all of the subdirectories and then hit OK. And that will change the permissions on all of the subdirectories underneath content. Now we hit back, hit upload theme again, and then when it's in there, we could just push it and try it again. Okay, so it hasn't gotten to that directory just yet. Again, upload theme and go from there. Worst case scenario, and commonly I've noticed this when migrating websites, is that you may have to go to the host and say, hey, all of my permissions are wrong, and then they will fix it for you. It's actually a fairly quick chat, and sometimes I end up having to go do that because this particularly doesn't work. So I'm just waiting for this to go. I'll come back as soon as this is done. Okay, now all those permissions are done. We're going to hit back upload the theme, and I took it out of a private window just to make life easier, and then hit install now and see if that works. Oh, it didn't work. Bummer. Okay, so the next thing that we could do with again your trusty FTP program is we don't actually have to use anything in WordPress. We can just drag and drop the files over here, and so I'm going to do that for this video and save you the time of um, watching me talk to support saying what's the deal. So all I'm going to do is in my downloads folders, I'm going to double click on Hello Elementor, and I'm going to extract this, and you can just put it on your desktop. And then so once that's extracted, you can, in your FTP program, go to WP Content, then Themes, and then just drag and drop the file into the themes directory. And you don't want to put it in any of the little subdirectories. You want to make it its own directory. So you could use it I would just do it up at top and then just drop it in. So it will create the hello directory, hello Elementor theme, which is being created now, and then all of the files inside that directory will be added. This is a very, very quick way to add a theme. So then now we don't need to do this whole upload thing, because under appearance and themes, you now have Hello Elementor. So Elementor is, their theme is installed. However, the website still, I don't know if it even looks the same because I took out all of the plugins. The website still looks somewhat the same, even without all of the plugins. When we start redesigning the site, the site will look completely different. So we're still using the old theme, but we installed the new theme. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is install Elementor. And you could do this directly from the plugin page, I believe. Yep, Elementor Page Builder. So then you would just hit install. It's actually fairly simple. And then you would activate this plugin. Okay, now Elementor is installed. And yes, we do have the Pro version. So what I will do is I will install that in a little bit. That's pretty much, you just drop in the registration code. So instead of showing that on a public video, I will just do that later. So Elementor and the theme is installed. And then the next thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that the site is backed up every single night. And so what I've seen on this, in this, is that they have already a backup program installed, which is called Updraft. Updraft is fine. Back WP WordPress up is fine too. Just have a backup program. They're all somewhat similar, so we'll just use Updraft. So we're going to activate this. Okay, and I would also say that the free version on either one is usually okay. So we're going to go into settings. Okay, and what we're really after is we want to schedule backups that happen on a regular basis. So just in case the site gets hacked or the site goes down for some reason, we have a full backup of the website. And we want to do this also off of the server as well. So we do want to, for example, back it up to Dropbox. And Dropbox is a great platform to back things up to, just because it's off of the website entirely. So you can have all your Dropbox information safe and secure. You can have the files in your Dropbox and you'll be fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to add and change incremental backup files. So where is there a save button? We're not going to migrate the website, so you can ignore that. But okay, so we're going to mess with this here. So the files backup schedule, we're going to back up the site daily. How many backups do you want? We're going to keep 4 backups. The database, we're going to back up daily, and we're going to keep 4 of those. So depending on how often you look at your website, if the reason why we want to keep multiple copies is just in case, for example, the site is hacked and you don't notice it for a couple of days while you backed up the hacked site. So you want enough backups to ensure that you can go back at least 5 days and grab a copy of the site and then erase what is there and re-upload all of the files in the database, just like we did. So just like we did in migrating the website. Okay, so the next thing is to set up the Dropbox. So we want to include the plugins, the themes, and the uploads, which is basically most of what WordPress is. We're going to keep all of this other stuff as well. You could choose if you want an email, and then we're just going to hit save settings. There should be an opportunity here, yeah, to connect to your Dropbox account. So then I'm going to click on this, and it will take me directly to Dropbox. And then I'm going to log in to my Dropbox account and then hit sign in. And what this is going to do, it's going to connect Dropbox with the website and then hit allow. That's it. And I pay for a Dropbox account, so the space is fairly large. If you're paying for Office 365, then you can use OneDrive and you have a terabyte of storage there, so you could do that. So the button will take you to this page. That's pretty much it. Complete the setup. Hit continue. Okay, now the website is going to be backed up to Dropbox. So the very first thing, since we've migrated a site and we're doing stuff, is I want to back the site up just to test it out. And hit back up now. And when this gets done, I just want to see how slow it is. I might not pause it. It seems to go pretty quickly. So what this is doing, it's compressing your files and then uploading them to Dropbox, so it can take a little bit of time. So yes, I'm going to pause the video just so that you don't have to watch a blue bar go across the screen. Okay, so when it's done, it's either going to go, okay, there were errors waiting until schedule time to retry because of errors. So if we click show log, it'll give you this whole entire thing of what's going on, why it's receiving an error. It's a little Greek, if you know what I mean, like, oh, this is a lot to read. Really what you're looking for are just major items. It might have just failed just because of the communication between Dropbox and Updraft. So some files did fail. You could see, oh, I just saw it, right? Yeah, these failed. So, and this is a plugin. So what we do at that moment is, oh, I think I didn't. You try and remember what you did the night before. And I think under the plugins directory, I changed that plugin. Oops, that's upgrade. I changed it all in one, and I put old in front of it. Nope, I must have removed that. Yeah, so if you have any errors, the only thing technically you could do with these errors is to try again. It'll wait a little bit, but while we're doing that, we'll just kind of move ahead. It might be this permission error that's kind of plaguing me that I haven't fixed yet with DreamHost, but since we're here, and I might as well plug them because I like their support. Okay, so usually I just go to ask a question. It's going to tell me, and then I just scroll down to the bottom and hit talk to support with this issue. And so I'm going to go to website, and then that, and then hit chat now. And then you'll immediately get started. I'm in 2, so all I'm going to do at this moment is I'm going to drag this off and leave this in a window that I could see. So I'm going to drag it out of the window that you can't see, but I'm just going to leave it in the fact that I could see it in a different window so that when they start talking, I will be right there. So it looks like there's a file permission issue, and that file permission issue is trying to mess with the backup. You can hit backup now. It actually says it's apparently succeeded. So apparently is a great strong word, but that's kind of what you're looking for. And you're going to have days where it just works and doesn't work, and that's totally okay, because the next day it will work again. Look at the errors and just make sure. And again, I am working with this file permission issue because Elementor, after it's installed and you click on settings, actually you go to site info, says that there is a permissions issue, and I don't know all of the WordPress default permissions, so I'm just going to leverage the host to change it for me right quick. Everything else on the site's just fine. So what we do now is we go to saved, appearance, and then theme. And then at this moment, we can click on live preview on hello and see what hello is supposed to look like right now. Okay, so what hello is going to look like is pretty much just a blank website, and this is kind of what we're going for, because we're going to use a builder and you want a blank website to build upon. I'm not going to activate or publish it. I'm going to make Dave do that. But for now, the whole site is completed, and I'm looking at his email real quick just to make sure how everything is done. Okay, so we have Elementor installed. We can't install Elementor Pro because I don't know the login information, but it's just as simple as installing a plugin, fairly easy. If you hit Go Pro, it goes to the Elementor page. It doesn't allow you to type in your key and unlock the full version of it. So what it appears is that there is a pro version plugin and a free version plugin, and they are not the same. They are two physically different plugins. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to install Google Sitekit. Okay, and we're going to activate Google Sitekit. And hopefully this will give me all the tutorials straight away. Okay, so yay, you installed a plugin, right? So you could check the box if you want. It's up to you, but start the setup. And what this is going to do is it's auto going to detect that you don't you're not signed into your Google account, so it's going to make you sign in. And on the opposite side, I don't know if analytics or search console has ever been set up, but it will walk you through setting those up as well. So click sign in with Google, sign in with your account, hit allow so it can access your account, and then verify the site ownership. We need to add a verification token, so I'm just going to click proceed because I'm assuming most people would click proceed. I normally do this a different way, but I'm going to try it their way. So I'm going to click proceed, and wait and wait. All right, it's verified. So what it did right there is it downloaded a file from Google, put it onto the server, and then verified that file was there. So I'm the verified owner of Sonic Drive-In Pacific Northwest, and then I'm just going to hit allow. Next, we're going to want to set up a Google Search Console. We've already set up, I thought we just set up Google Search Console. We're going to set up another Google account. Maybe that was analytics. And the same thing, so we're just going to click Add Site. And this is going to actually attach it to my Google Search Console, and then what I do is I give permissions out to everyone else to see or take advantage. Okay, so the Google account's set up, Search Console is set up, so I'm going to click Go to Dashboard. So just on a couple of clicks, you've set up a Google Search Console, and you have set up Google, yeah, I think it's just Search Console, it's not Analytics. So through Search Console, there's already data there, so you can actually see who's visiting the site already and how much traffic it's getting. The next thing we want to set up obviously is analytics. So we're going to hit connect the service, and then now I'm going to stop doing this so that I could communicate to DreamHost. Okay, so I'm going to wait for Nelson to come back, and then I'm going to keep working on the site. I'm going to confirm who I am, allow Google to access my account, and then now Google Analytics is going to access my account and give me a list of domains that are in my analytics and give me the opportunity to add the Sonic drive-ins in Pacific Northwest to my analytics as well. Okay, so it gives you the account and then you get a list of domains, and then it actually doesn't. So you have to do this quote unquote the hard way. It's really not that hard. So what you do is you go to Google Analytics, or just Google Analytics, because I can never spell correctly. So Google Analytics, once you're logged into Google, it'll automatically log you in everywhere else. And then you're going to click admin, create an account. And then I always just name the account the domain. It's just easier for me when you're dealing with hundreds of domains. It's, again, I just need to make it easy to find everything. So you type in the domain. That's again what I do. You can name it whatever you want. So I technically could Sonic Drive-ins of Puget Sound, the name of the site. Again, it's just easier for me to find it in a list of domains. If you just have a few of them, then you don't have to worry about it. I have 94 accounts, so I'm going to hit my maximum soon. So web, so just keep it as web. You're not doing app or apps and web. If you ever get an app, you can change this in the future. That's fine. Then click next, and then again, I just use the domain. And then at this moment, what I do is I copy everything up here and then paste in the domain. I'm going to erase this here, and I'm also going to change the HTTP to HTTPS. And the reason being is that I will make this secure in this video as well. So we'll go over that. And then, what is this? Food, industrial, computer, food and drink. Okay. And then just pick the time. We're in the same time zone, so that's great. Then I'm going to hit create. I'm going to accept that Google is selecting data, collecting data, and then it's going to come back and give me a tracking ID code right here. So in SiteKit, I think if I just go back to the dashboard and then go to complete activation, what I'm trying to do is what it's doing now is refresh, and it automatically found the site that we just created. And then I'm going to hit configure analytics, and then now Google Analytics is connected to the website. If you're doing AdSense, then obviously you want to connect that. And page speed is something that can be connected anytime. So back to DreamHost, and then are you getting an error? So he wants to see the error that I'm getting. So in Elementor, I'm going to go to system info, and then I'm going to copy the error and paste it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to, as he's helping me pushing the work, I'll keep bringing this window in and out because I want to get this error fixed. And again, I'm assuming that since DreamHost is a WordPress host, they know all of the default settings, and so we're just going to push them through. And there's another plugin that's going to fix this as well. I just wanted to have them try it first. Okay, so now we have Google Sitekit. This is running and installed. And then the next request of this video is we like to use Rank Math instead of Yoast. So, and they're not paying for the free version of Yoast because it would say Pro. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Add New and then go to Rank Math. Okay, we're just going to click Install. And then activate. and connect your account. Okay, we're going to go to advanced, and then we're going to click Start Wizard, and they're going to try and make it really easy. So input data from Yoast. So everything that you had into Yoast is now going to be imported into Rank Math. All the key phrases, metadata, and everything will be imported in for all of your pages. Now that that's done, because there's not that many pages, now we kind of go back through the website. And it does, like I said, pick up a lot of things from Yoast, so there's not a lot of items that you need to do. So this is a small business website. It has an organization. The company name is already filled out. The logo is already there. The default sharing image, I'm going to again try and select that same logo. And I'm just looking at the sizes here. So I'm actually going to select this logo for the default social share because people would recognize this more than that. And then I'm going to hit save and continue. Okay, now this wants to be authorized with the Google Search Console, which we already did with Google Sitekit, so just click on Get Authorization Code. Then go ahead and click on that. Then go ahead and click Allow. Click this for copy. Come back over here and right click and hit paste or Control V. Then start typing, and then this will automatically appear. And then hit save and continue. DreamHost just asked what domain it was for. I confirmed it, and then now he's going back to work. Okay, so in Rank Math, we want to include sitemaps, we want to include images, we want to include paste and pages and posts. We do not want to include categories inside of the sitemap. The reason being is that in most categories are blank, and or they're just going to show the list of posts, so it will be duplicate content. All right, no index empty categories. Great. If it's empty, we don't want Google to know that it's there. Adding no follow to external links. You want to add follow because this is a ranking factor. Google wants to be able to follow from one website to another. So keep that off. Open external links on a new window. This is a personal choice, meaning that every single time you click on a link, it'll open it in a new tab. So if you're linking off to someone, then technically their website is always in your browser with under a multiple tab. So I'll just leave that. And then it immediately goes to site ready and then advanced options. So let's go to advanced options. Role manager, 90% of the time I just leave this alone. I don't, when you have a large team, then you would change some of these informations. For example, if you don't want a contributor to do anything with SEO, then you would leave this all blank or give them permission to do it. So that's pretty self-explanatory. A 404 monitor, which you want to turn on. This will monitor how many times somebody visits a page that doesn't exist on your website. Either you move the page or deleted the page, but you want to monitor that. The more 404 errors you have, it will affect your ranking. Redirections, this is the thing that I love the most about this, is that when you change a page on your website from one name to another name, it changes the URL, and Rank Math is awesome about creating that for you. Then hit save and continue. Schema markup. This is fine for article, blog post. All this is for pages are articles. Yeah, so for posts, there are articles and there are blog posts. For pages, there are articles and articles. So that's it. If you're doing anything fancy, you would just adjust it. Most of the time, by default, this is fine. Okay, and then Rank Math is set up. Pretty simple. Now there are some things that I want to turn on and turn off here. So the first thing is the redirection, just because I always forget about doing it until after I have already created a redirect and I wondered why it didn't work. So click on redirection and then click on auto post redirect. This is where the magic happens. It automatically adds a redirection to the site. So it just works when you're changing the name of a post. So add that, and then it will create the redirects for you. And then so we're going to start on the dashboard, and again we're going to go through this. So the 404 monitor is fine. AMP, if they want to use AMP, you just turn that on. This is a Facebook Live plugin. The image of SEO, since the site is so small, I won't turn it on. What it does is it automatically adds a alt tag and title tag to your images. This can hurt accessibility, but on the other end, it adds something that you might be missing. Link counter, how many links that you have on a page. Schema, role manager. Again, you could just shut this off if you're not doing anything with roles. Local SEO, information, redirection, search console, analytics, sitemap. Okay, so I think you kind of get it. What we do, the first thing we do is we click on general settings, and we strip the category base, which just means it removes category from the URLs. So if we go over to post, and I'm going to open this in a new tab, here are the list of categories. When you go to these categories, it has the word category right there. I think that's stupid. So I'm going to turn this on, and then now that category will automatically be removed. The word category. So for example, in the future, it'll just be ocdisonics.com/Paulsbo, not /category/Paulsbo. So that's removed. Redirect attachments to the page they're on, which is great. Redirect orphan attachments to the home page, which is fine. And then he is asking me to give it a try. So all I'm going to do at this instance is go to Elementor and then system info. Actually, I'm going to stay on this page first and hit save. And then I'll come back to that. Elementor and then site info. And then refresh and see if this comes back with that. All right. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try and upload an image. And I'm just going to select any image from my folder and drop it. See if that works. And then I'm going to take that error and then I'm going to paste it for Nelson. And now I'm going to move this away. So you can see me kind of multitask. I'm working with someone to fix an issue on the website rather than grinding my gears and trying to figure it out myself. He will fix it for me, I hope. And then at the same time, I am going through the website and setting up rank math. So back to general settings. So we stripped the category base, open external links in a new tab. That is done. Breadcrumbs. This is kind of tricky. I'm not going to enable the breadcrumb function just because you have a breadcrumb function inside of Elementor. And so if you don't have a breadcrumb function inside of Elementor, you can create a breadcrumb function in the theme and add the rank math shortcode to it, and then it will be done. So you need to turn on breadcrumbs. You need to have a space for breadcrumbs, but every theme and designer is different of where they want those breadcrumbs, so I'd leave it off and let them design it. Webmaster Tools, this is all done. Usually I do copy and paste the stuff in here. I just don't know why you verify it and then verify it again. So technically you can click on this and get the code, which is right here. Hit Control C and then paste it in there and then hit save changes, and you could do that with every single one of them. Obviously they're just after what's this code in each one of them, but if you copy the whole entire thing, it will remove the code that they need. So yes, you would go to Bing, create a Bing account, add their code in there. I would skip this one. Yandex I would do. Alexa, if you want to verify Alexa. Pinterest I would do, and then Norton's kind of up to you. So you could do these as you will. I'm just going to hit save changes because Google's done. Others, I tend never to show the SEO score just because I just don't. And then you can kind of leave this blank, or you could type in something else. So hold on real quick. Sorry, I was distracted. He asked me to try it again. So I am going to right click and then go to add new and open in a new tab so I don't lose my space. Now I am going to drag that same file and drop it over. And then next I'm going to try a smaller file and drop it over. Okay, so that one worked. And then so since I have him in the site and working on it, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to hit select files and I'm going to drop the big one in again. Oh, that one actually worked. Okay, so it seems to be working now. So back to the chat so that you could see it. All right, so now we can upload files and themes and everything without having any errors, which is great. So I don't show the SEO score. You can. I tend to look at what other people do, and on this section here, I'm going to try and find it because I always forget. Okay, and in this section here, you can have post link, blog link. So like you can have blog link, RSS before content, post link, and featured image. And what this is that you're messing with the RSS feed. So when somebody subscribes to your RSS feed, this is how it's going to display for them. I don't put too much stock into it, but I do add something there. So just kind of add something the way that you think would go. Edit the robot text. This is the robot text file on the site. You don't need to do anything with it. Same thing with HTTP access. The 404 monitor, we're going to keep it simple. Log the limits, ignore queries, redirection. This is already set up. And Search Console, this is already set up with Search Console. So pretty simple. Now titles and meta. The global meta, where you want everything to be indexed. We don't want empty categories to be indexed. This is where you could pick this little separator here. So we just do that. This is the social share, capitalized titles. Again, that's personal choice. I'm just going to click Save Changes. Okay, local social media. What you need to do is you need to fill this out, and it needs to match what's in your Google My Business account. So compare the Google My Business account to this and match the information correctly. If the information is wrong in your Google My Business account, fix that and make them match. So I'm going to leave this blank because I don't know this information off the top of my head, and it's just filling out a form. You don't need to watch me fill out a form. Okay. Social media, this is where you would add all of your social media stuff. If you are a Facebook admin, it's going to give you some authorship, and it wants to do the whole entire app so that you can control what's shared on Facebook from your website. So fill out all of this information, and the Twitter username is just twitter.com/whatever account it is. So that's fairly simple. Again, just fill out the information and go through what it's telling you to do. If you're in any trouble, just click on these numeric links. Homepage. The homepage, the SEO is on that particular page. Authors, we disable author archives. This creates duplicate content throughout. So we just disable it and hit Save Changes. That's actually a fairly simple thing to do. And then miscellaneous page, date archives, we disable them as well. Okay, so Nelson has helped me, so we no longer need to talk to Nelson. Awesome. So that's done. We don't have to do anything. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so date archives, we disable that. This is how your page 404 is going to be found. Again, you could change all of these settings most of the time. No index search results, which is what we want. No index, we want them to be indexed. No index archive subpages, no index password pages. We want to turn those all on. Then hit Save Changes. Okay, and then let's go to posts. Actually, I'm going to make a couple of changes here. So in the RSS feed, if I can find that again, I was under general settings and then others. Right, it's just blog link and post link. You can add the featured image if you want. But yeah, just blog link and post link, and then hit save. I'm going off of a reference, so it's just a lot to remember. So back to titles and meta. Okay, so again, this is all correct. And to authors. So you want to disable this for a single author website, which this is what this will be. If you have multiple authors and you want to enable it, and it will give your authors a page of their own. But again, since there's only one author or two author website, or everyone's going to be under one name, then keep it disabled. Data, like I said before, this prevents duplicate content. Again, you can write oops, page not found. It doesn't matter. And then we actually want this off, and then hit save changes. So on the post page, what we tend to not want to do is have all of this up here. So you can, if you're going to have big titles, have just a big title. Or you can, which I tend to do, is this one, title and site name. However, if I'm looking at the site name, which is fairly large, Sonic Drive-Ins of Pacific Northwest, it means the title is going to have to be fairly small. So I'm just going to erase it and make it just the title of the post. Same thing with excerpt. You should be writing a description for every single one anyways, but just in case you forget, I like to leave excerpt there. Schema type, article, SEO title is fine. Article title is fine. All of this stuff is okay. Okay. Bulk editing, title, link suggestions, those are all great. Primary taxonomy, you can hit none here. That's okay. The SEO box. All right, just hit save changes. Under pages. Again, since the site name is so large, we're going to erase everything and just add the title of the page. Let me close this. And then, again, you're just going to kind of go through. Most of this is going to be the same. This SEO description is fairly large, but this is edited somewhere else, not here. Article type, post name, we're going to index pages. Link suggestions are fine. Titles are focus keywords. I think that is up to you. Yeah. Bulk editing. Yep, everything is fine. A lot of this stuff is going to be fine out of the gate. Attachments. There's nothing you could do with attachments. Locations. Now this is a separate thing according to the theme. I'm going to leave this blank because we're going to change themes. Manage your bio, same thing. The category archive titles, I'm actually just going to hit no index and leave it the same. Same thing with tags. We don't want to index any tags. And picture tags, we don't want to index any of those. Is it this one? No, this one? Yes, and then no index. Okay, so that's all done. We've gone through this entire thing. Now sitemap settings. This is your sitemap. You can click on it. Okay, so we just want posts and pages. We don't want anything else in there or images. We don't want to include feature images. And we want to ping search engines on time every time a page is updated. Posts we want to include in the sitemap. Pages we want to include. Sitemaps we don't. Locations, again, we don't, because I don't know if that's going to stick around, because the theme is going to change and these sections are going to disappear. So might as well remove them now. Categories we don't move. Tags we don't use. Picture tags we don't use. Done. Okay, so 404 monitor, this will just give you all the 404 pages that are there. Redirections, this will give you all of the redirections that happen. Search console, this will connect it to Google Search Console so you could see what happened there. And then SEO analysis, this will scan your entire website to give you an SEO analysis. Again, don't do it because we're changing the actual theme. And then status and tools, that's this is where you can just do stuff. It'll auto updates turned off, and you can roll back the version, which we just kind of never advise. Just always keep it updated unless there's a problem with this conflicting with something else. Okay, so now that that's all done, I'm noticing either someone has started to come in and enable plugins, or something else is going on. So yeah, so I'm looking at most of the plugins are enabled, and that's not particularly what we want. So Yoast I'm going to deactivate entirely because I have installed rank math, and then at the same time, yeah, so somebody else is in the site because SiteKit is deactivated when I just activated it. So I'm going to activate SiteKit, and then I'm going to deactivate Moon Plus. Again, they're the same thing. I just happen to like SiteKit more. I no longer need this plugin. So Google Sitekit just gives you a little bit more information. The only issue with Google Sitekit is that you need to log in with your Google account to see the information, which with this Moon Splitter you don't. So I'm just actually going to delete that, and then at the same exact time I'm going to delete Yoast. Okay, now if we go to pages and all pages, I'm almost done with this video. You'll see this 0 and section over here. You're going to see this because this hasn't been done. I'm going to do the About Olympic Cascade Drive-ins just to show you how this works. Oh, and that's another plugin. So and this is my personal opinion, hate Gutenberg. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I really hate it. And so a plugin that I install is, if you just type in disable, guess what automatically comes up? Disable Gutenberg, because 500,000 people agree with me that it sucks. But technically you don't want it because you're using Elementor. So that's kind of the trade-off. You don't want to have Gutenberg and Elementor at the same time. It gets really confusing because they're both kind of a slash builder, and doing it this way, disabling Gutenberg, actually helps with helps with you organizing the site. So about, I'm going to hit edit. It's going to look like the standard WordPress. There isn't much content. So what you do is copy the title, you paste it into the focus key phrase usually, and then you're going to copy and put it into the description as well, and then you're going to add a little bit more on the description. And again, Dave is going to come back and redo the optimization, so I'm not going to really do it too much. So it gives you 50 out of 100. It tells you what is missing. So start with the basic SEO first. Try and get it to 80% or higher, and then do the second key phrase. So for example, focus keyword is not in a subheading. Well, if you just went up to the top here, pasted this in, and then made it an H2 tag, it already went from 50 to 59. So doing these little changes actually works and helps. The biggest thing with this page is that it needs a lot more content. So now, after doing that one little change, adding some things here, I'm at 62 out of 100, which is great. But you get the idea under all pages that Now you know the keywords, it's an article, how many links it has, and what the SEO is. So that's how to install Rank Math, Elementor, and the theme. To get started, what's going to happen is that you're going to click on, or Dave's going to click on themes, and then he's going to click on hello and hit activate. Now anyone working on the site just flipped out because I changed the whole entire theme and the site's going to look broken. So I'm going to switch this back, but now using Elementor, Dave's going to come in and redesign this website. So go back to the child of Italy and then hit activate. And then when I hit refresh, it will automatically appear. The other thing that I'm going to do just to make life easy for everyone is I'm going to uninstall the security plugin just for now and then reinstall it later, so that it's easy to get in and out of the website without being locked in, because people are going to have to know what their passwords are and they may forget and get locked out. So it just is a hassle. So I'm just going to disable it for now and then reactivate that for later. And then the other thing I'm going to do is the password protected. I'm just going to disable some security things for now and then again activate them later. That's it. That's Personal SEO teaches how to install Elementor, install Google Sitekit, and install Rank Math. Thank you for watching.